1,100 meters to go. We're now talking about 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and these guys will be done. It has been an unbelievable weekend of racing. Remember at the last year's World Championships, it looked exactly like this. Gomez just sort of waited, and with about 400 meters to go, he let Johnny kept the lead, and then when Gomez went by with 400 meters, it was that final, this is it. I either win it or you pass me. So let's just see, because right now Gomez, in my mind, still looks controlled. And here comes Gomez. That's the move that I thought we would see. Gomez, 400 meters to go. Johnny is not letting him get away. And remember, when Alistair went too early, Johnny came back. Well,
there was a look over the shoulder from Gomez. He thought he might have broken him. He hasn't. He's still there.
Well, there's going to be at least one more attempt here. Here we go.
Here's the sprint from Johnny Brownlee. And can Gomez go with him?
He is making a move. You cannot believe this race. Guys on the other side of the road, athletes are stopping to cheer. Look at that. Unbelievable. Johnny Brownlee on his toes. Javier Gomez is not letting him away. This thing is not over. This is not over. Javier Gomez is not letting him get away. We're going to see one more push. Did Johnny go too early? It is going to be onto the blue carpet, and who's got the last gear? This is the greatest World Championships we have ever seen. Johnny Brownlee, Javier Gomez, 100 meters to go. They're side by side coming down. Yeah, look at them coming through. Gomez, Brownlee, this could be like the Olympic Games. Unbelievable. And Gomez takes it. Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable.
TV National News.
We begin with breaking news in Ontario.
Second national lockdown tomorrow.
The pandemic is at a critical stage. 100,000 people are catching coronavirus every day.
The fight against COVID-19.
From COVID-19.
The highest number of new infections since the start of the pandemic.
Body break. Pandemic pause.
First time in the 124-year history of the Olympics that it's been postponed.
I was in the best shape of my life.
Ready to race at Worlds.
And then COVID hit.
I'm Tristen Jones. I'm actually from Peterborough, Ontario. I got into triathlon when I was about 10 years old, did my first one. Just heard it through a friend, and I've been doing it ever since.
Hi, my name is Garett Mason. I'm 18 years old, and I'm from Alliston, Ontario. I started triathlon when I was 5 years old. I got into it because my dad was doing them. 4 years ago, I joined C3. My dad contacted Barry Shepley, and I've been here ever since.
So in the morning, we're up fairly early. Like this, we were up at 5:20 to get ready for our 6 o'clock swim. Usually, it's not a ton of food in the morning. Maybe a bowl of cereal or a shake.
Yeah, getting up in the morning is definitely the toughest part of the day. You're tired, you're sore from the previous day, and you don't want to get up. But I think that's where living together really plays a big factor in motivation. So you know that you have your teammates. I have Tristen counting on me to get up, and he doesn't know. I motivate him to get up, and he motivates me to get up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I agree.
Since I was a kid, my ultimate goal has always been to go to the Olympics. I wasn't sure what sport I would be in, if it was swimming or soccer, but when I found triathlon, I really realized that that was the sport I was meant to be in. So that is really where I see myself.
In 3 decades of watching young teenagers come up, dating back to people like Simon Whitfield and Andrew York, to see such talent and dedication with Kira, with Garett, with Tristen, we really realized that we had to maximize this summer, not just let it go by.
The house that we're staying in actually is it's our second year here. Right now we're living, it's Garett and I are currently the only ones in the house right now. Honestly, this house has been a godsend. We've been able to, we have great roads around here to ride. great roads to run on. It's close enough to get to trails, close enough to the quarry to go open water swimming, and really it's honestly the best possible training spot. It's quiet. It's allowed us to really, I think, develop as triathletes. Just a little pre-snack before we go work out again.
So last October, Tristen and I started dating, and we really motivated each other, I think, because we both have such high goals and high expectations of ourselves that we pushed each other at workouts. We were always keeping each other motivated, always keeping each other in check, always keeping each other accountable. And it was just something else to look forward to, when I was going to training. And I know that it was disappointing for both of us when Worlds was canceled, because it would have been the first World Championships we would have gone to together. But I think that this summer we really just had to use each other for motivation, and it's just been really nice having someone there for me in these times.
It's been probably, it's almost been 10 months now, 10 months on the 2nd of August that Kira and I have been dating. And at first we kind of kept it quiet. I don't think a lot of people knew. We just didn't want to distract anybody. I love hanging out with her. It's a little bit more motivation, like you said. It's obviously getting to workouts and seeing her is super nice. And it's cool to watch her do her thing and not even know how good she is. Like, she's amazing. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
This club has an assortment of world-class coaches, starting with Luis Lopez. He's been my coach since the first day I've been to the club. The first workout, I was introduced to him. And ever since then, he's been my coach, and we've been really close.
I lived with Luis for 2 years. My first 2 years, I lived with him, and he was like a second dad to me. He really took me, and I think he took every guy under his wing, and has kept us safe, has kept us motivated, has made sure it's always in our best interest, anything he does. And I think really he deserves a lot of credit.
I've been coaching Tristen and Garett for about 5 years now, and it has been quite a privilege to see how they have evolved from when they're little kids, teens still, but little kids, and how they have become better and better athletes. These guys are not ordinary teenagers. They have a different drive than most people. They have a different will to succeed, and they are pretty much committed to do everything that needs to be done to achieve what they believe can be the best they can be.
Miguel has been crucial to the swimming in the club.
He's constantly on us about our technique, and more importantly, I think about anything, it's about feeling good in the water, is what he always says, and that's really something I think we're all focusing on.
It was interesting getting back from Arizona and the COVID experience, because suddenly athletes who had goals were realizing that maybe none of those events are going to happen. And very quickly the coaches, Luis, McGill, and myself sat down and said, we've got to put together something that these athletes can train for. And so these really high performance races in Caledon, the best athletes in all of the world coming to our small town for one focus and one reason, and that was to provide high performance athletic goals so that our elite athletes had something to strive for later in the summer. An athlete's career is a ticking clock. You can't just let 12 months go by and not do something productive if you really want to one day be one of the best in the world. So we realized that immediately, even though we had races, we now had to get into super training mode, and these guys responded incredibly well. They did not take any days off. It was an incredible summer of high performance training.
Barry Shepley, our coach, has been probably the biggest been a factor in, I think, the club history, and definitely in my career as a triathlete. He's done so much for us and continues to put all his time into us and making sure that we have the best possible opportunities for our future and our training. It's been incredible.
And then they're down to just two athletes, Taylor Reed in the red, Tristen Jones, the junior, in the blue. 10 years, the junior. These two guys have been epic all day into the 90-degree temperatures. They've battled away from the rest of the competition. 400 meters to the finishing line, the final calories and fluid in. There's Taylor Reed in the red, trying to use his experience as he pulls away from the junior. What an epic summer it has been for Tristen Jones, the man heading down on scholarship right now, trying to stay with one of Canada's greatest. You can see Tristen Jones hanging on, but the hamstring's starting to tighten up. It is Taylor Reed starting to pull away in the last few hundred meters. What an epic final sprint. The 29-year-old will win the Nouveau Iron Championship, and Tristen Jones will be second.
That was tactically perfect. What can I say? I sat on him for like the last kilometer, and I just took him the last 100 meters. Mad respect. He's only like 19. I'm like 29. I've got 10 years on him. This guy's gonna be amazing in the future.
Tristen, how was that?
That was tough. That was really tough. Taylor just had to go in the downhill. I just couldn't go with him. Let my hamstring go a little bit, but it's all good. It was very tough today. Super hot.
This year, the world stopped. We didn't. We worked harder. We grew closer.
We leaned on each other for support, for motivation.
We will never forget this summer. It bonded us, brought us together.
We know the competition isn't over. We know the race has yet to start.
But we've already won.